Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Esoteric Ramblings. I'm Jesse Arnold, and today I'm giving you my reviews, first thoughts on Loki, Episode 1. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. We got another Disney Plus series starting, and I'm going to be uploading this video, I guess, on Thursday, just to spread out my videos a little bit, so I'm not doubling up on Wednesday for you. But I just watched this and I really enjoyed this first episode. Episode 1 is called Glorious Purpose. And it's... I don't know if it's everything I wanted it to be, because I don't really know what I want this show to be, but I know it's more Tom Hiddleston as Loki. So, with the way Endgame plays out, you don't think you'll get more of him. Except they let us know the show was coming, so I knew we would be getting more of him in at least this regard, even though it's the 2012 era version of Loki. So, it pretty much picks up right at the at that moment in Endgame where the current timeline Avengers have gone back to 2012 to get the Tesseract and the other time stones in the middle of their time heist. And Loki gets the Tesseract and escapes. And then we slide into the rest of the episode. I won't give any more spoilers until a warning later on, but I will say, that's pretty much where you'd expect the show to start up, and it does. It's pretty great. The production value on this is just as good as WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. I feel like, if I understand correctly, this was filmed before either of those, so I don't know if what we've experienced in those shows, or at least before WandaVision, is going to have any effect on this show. I think this show is going to have an effect, from what I've understand, on more of the MCU going forward than the other two at the moment, but we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But again, Tom Hiddleston as Loki. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you do, you're getting everything you want from him in this. His performance is great. It's just him and his element, but we get him in a different context because we don't have him playing off of our regular heroes. So he can get up to more of his roguish nature than we've seen, because Thor was always right there to confront him or deal with the aftermath of what his stuff was. And again, this is 2012 Loki. This is Loki who just tried to take over New York City and was captured by the Avengers. So he's in an interesting place, and following the normal timeline, he goes back to Asgard and gets put in a prison cell. So seeing this version of him in this time period is interesting. The rest of the cast was great. I don't remember everybody else's name. There's really only two other major actors that play with him in this episode. Owen Wilson being one of them, who does a fantastic job. And I'm going to attempt to... I probably shouldn't even attempt to say this name. Gugu Batha is in this. And Wunmi Masaku are the other kind of major characters in this episode, and they do a great job with their performances. I really like the way they set up the idea of this show and what's going on. If you've seen the trailers, you know that this involves the TVA, the Time Variance Authority, and I don't feel like I'm spoiling anything with that. So seeing the way that world is set up and that organization is really interesting. I really like the designs of these things. I think the set designs are fantastic. It's beautifully filmed, great acting, great sound design and score. Oh, I'm already forgetting who the composer was. Where's the list? I can't find it. I'll find it for the next one. I apologize for not having that in front of me. But yeah, so it's really great. It delivers everything you expect from a Marvel show now. It's on the caliber and level of the movies. It's on the caliber of the previous shows in WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. I really have no complaints with this episode. It was entertaining, action-packed, funny, drama, serious, incredible acting. It's got it all, and it's a 51-minute runtime, including the credits. I will say this, there is no post-credit scene in this. I don't expect there will be until maybe the last episode or two, like they've done on the other shows at this point, as we get into kind of the finale of the series, or at least the season. I can't imagine that this show will get multiple seasons, but we'll see. So yeah, it was really great, and with that, I'm going to throw up my spoiler warning sign and get into some spoilers now. Alright, so to get a little more into the details of this episode, I am going to go through some of the main points, so if you don't want to know what happened, don't watch. I don't know if I'll spoil everything, but if I do, you've been warned. So Loki steals the Tesseract. He ends up in Mongolia. We're not really sure the time. Maybe there was a time and I just forget what they said, but it's he's quickly intercepted by the TVA, and he, of course, being Loki, tries to stand up to them. And one of the coolest moments at the beginning of the episode is he gets smacked in the face with this like stick baton thing, and it slows him down. They say he gets slowed to like 16th speed. While his like face is getting hit and his skin is flapping from the impact. It's a pretty funny moment, and he gets whisked away. And similar to Thor in Ragnarok, when he's put through the Grandmaster's preparation routine to become one of the champions, or one of the fighters in the Contest of Champions, you've seen this in the trailers. He gets stripped out of his Asgardian robes and put through all this stuff, and just watching Loki deal with the bureaucracy of basically interstellar, for all reality, what's the word? Department of Transportation kind of thing, with the queues and the tickets and the lines and the queues and everything. It's delightful, and because he's really playing with himself. Like, there's not a lot of other actors he's with in these moments. So it's really funny to just watch Tom Hiddleston go through these stages, which if anyone has ever gone through these sort of state or, whatever queues to get into line to get passports or your driver's license, it has that sort of feel, only he has to almost like willingly march to his own judgment. As he's being held accountable for being a variant, which they do a whole cool little video while he's waiting in line, an animated cartoon, and it's all got this kind of like late 60s, 70s vibe to the whole place, just the whole look and design of the facility and the tone of everything. So there's this great little cartoon that explains what a variant is, as someone who's gone off the timeline from an unapproved path. And it's just really great watching him go through all these paces. He's about to be judged, and Owen Wilson comes in because we've set up that he is tracking a variant who keeps killing their teams, their squads, who are trying to capture this dangerous variant that's hopping through time. We get a first establishment with this in a church in France, in I believe 1580 something or 1500s, and they encounter this little kid who shows them that they have blue gum that's turned their teeth blue, and they ask, who gave this to you? Who did this? Do you know who killed these people? And they point to the stained glass window, and it's a stained glass window of the devil. I I did see that a lot of people were speculating this is a sign to Mephisto, and I saw that the producers or someone involved in the show said that that's not what this is. And by the end of the episode, you kind of figure out why it's not Mephisto. Or maybe it is. Who knows? Maybe this is all a fake out. But yeah, so Owen Wilson, who plays Agent Mobius of the TVA, is tracking this deadly variant through time, who keeps taking out their TVA squads, and he tries to get Loki to help with this. So there's this whole sequence where he's kind of getting Loki to evaluate himself, and there's some really great acting between the two of them. It's funny, yes, but you get to some pretty impactful moments with them, and is really great. And then, so he takes him on this thing, and Loki, of course, tries to escape being Loki, and he does this thing, and he comes back around, and he seems to be going along with it. He seems to have had an emotional breakdown, because he gets back into this room where they've been showing him moments of his life, and they showed him some things from his future that he hasn't experienced yet. So he goes through and he watches more. He watches through the end of his life, and he seems to agree to go along. Now, I can't tell if this is all part of his performance and he's got some greater plan now, or if he's actually going along with it. And then they come back and say, we need your help tracking down this deadly variant. And they're like, well, why would I help you? And he's like, well, because it's you. So the horns on his helmet is probably what led this child in 1500s France to believe that it was the devil. And, other than not being red, Loki is very devilish, so... so that being said, it looks like Loki's getting hired to track himself down. We do get to see the DB Cooper sequence in this, which is pretty funny how that plays out. I won't spoil that entirely. There's a lot of other great moments and bits in this. Just top-notch show, great episode. I do expect the episodes will be shorter in the next couple ones, just as the Disney Plus shows seem to do that. They'll give you a longer episode to get it set up, and then it'll probably be between like a 30 to 40 minute episode, I'm guessing, for the future episodes, but we'll see. I'd be fine if they continued to be 50 plus minutes long, but I'm also going to be happy if they're 27 to 35 minutes long, because it's more Marvel stuff. So I guess that's it for my first reaction review of Loki Episode 1, Glorious Purpose. Thanks for watching. If you have a moment and you want to, please take some time and hit that like button, hit that subscribe. If you want to check out my Instagram page, I post pictures of my collections and things over there. And I guess that's it for today. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time, and as always, ramble on.